Hello, well, this is my Linux Mint, of course, 21.2, but for my laptop, I want to make a different kind of ISO on it. I don't want Linux Mint for my laptop. I want something a little bit lighter, something more customizable than this even, yeah? Something that I can make my own, not too heavy, not too thingy, not too packed out with apps like I've got on here on my main system. Main system will always be my desktop, of course, but for my laptop, I just want bare minimal stuff and that sort of thing, okay? So, Xubuntay has been invented. Yes, it's still Xubuntu, but it's just got a different name. And it's for myself, so I'm not distributing it, so I shouldn't get into any trouble for it, okay? And all I've got to do is fire it up in here. Now, what I haven't done is include the virtual box stuff, you know, to make it so that it runs smoother and all that malarkey, as in running at different resolutions. No, I haven't added all of that. The guest ISO, if you like. I haven't added any of that at all on here. And the reason being is because I'm going to be using SystemBack. SystemBack, which was last updated back in Ubuntu 16.04, still works to this day, even though it's not being developed on anymore. There was another version, but that was just stupid. There was another version that somebody took on over and tried to get on out, but yeah, just didn't work. Not as good as the original. You'll never get as good as the original. So we're going to go on in. So you won't see this at full screen, as in you won't see the login screen at full screen. This, of course, is Slick Greeter. This is actually Linux Mint's Slick Greeter, apart from I haven't got all of their settings on in there. I think they've got that on a separate thing because it never came up at all. So we'll just log on in like so. And because of this is for me, here we are. Absolutely brilliant. Got my own backgrounds, got my own shortcuts and stuff. Go on over to there. It's a little bit slow and clunky, but I expect that in a virtual machine. I've only got 4 of workspaces. I'm not going to add any more. 4 is more than enough. On my main system, I've got 10 of them. So yeah, everything is tickety boo and running quite nicely. Now all I've got to do basically is to make the ISO up. First I want to get SystemBack installed, and I've got it here. You can get it off of SourceForge. Just put SystemBack in and it'll tell you in the notes of when it was last updated. If something actually works, why not keep it? The only problem with SystemBack is that it will only do up to 4.4 gig in ISO size. It won't go any more than that. So if you've got way too much on your system, then I'd say if you've got files on your system and you're wanting to make an ISO of your system, I'd say get rid of all the important stuff that's on your system and put it elsewhere before you make an ISO up. The only thing I'm going to keep on here is my Linux notes, because there will be some other software that I want to install on my laptop, like Spotify, for instance, Spotify client. I've got the PPA for that with the right code in as well. But I turn it into a web app anyway instead of running it off the app. Yeah, so everything tickety boo at the moment. Let's get this installed. So all we got to do is just unpack it here, or even just bring it on out to downloads or something. Bring it on out to documents. Let's just cut this and we'll bring it on out into here. Doesn't really matter, but I could have just I've just thought of something. I don't know if I put all those in, you know. Did I? Can we open up? No, we can't. I am stupid. Let's just do that. I want Nemo which is now at default, but I need to be able to do all this, don't I? Yes. So let's just paste that in there. This tells it that Nemo will be the default search. We'll have the default search for the directories and stuff. All right. And this last one is what terminal I want it to open up with. I was having a look at an operating system the other day. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but it wouldn't accept any of these commands whatsoever. I'm not sure as to why. Solus, that's what it was. Solus OS, the XFCE version. It wouldn't accept any of these commands on in there. Very weird. So now, of course, I should be able to go on into documents, and because we've got this on open, I should be able to just open up in terminal. There we are. Brilliant, straight away, no messing. So we go sudo, if I go ls, you can see that's the install file there, install.sh. So we just go sudo, full stop or period, as the Americans say, and /. There we go, install. Yes, I did push that twice. Come on. Yeah, that's what we want. Stop. And we just put my password in, and here it is. Now then, always go for number 4. So we go for number 4, and off it goes. If you're using Debian, of course, you would use Jesse, and it installs, no problem whatsoever. Now, if you're using Linux Mint, you would have to get rid of Casper, and you would have to install Live Boot in order to get this to run properly. Otherwise, on your USB, you will not be able to run it. It will come up with a load of cow-say stuff, and yeah, not good. Not good at all. So now I can get rid of these files. I'll get rid of all this because it's all installed. So get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that, and we'll just delete, and away it goes. I'm going to keep hold of these because I want my Linux notes on there, because like I say, there's going to be other stuff that I want. What do we do next then? Well, I'm going to keep hold of this in here, but of course it won't be on the ISO. So what we do next is we make the ISO up, but first we need to open up this, because I can't for the life of me remember what the command is, because I don't want everything. I know it's for myself, but removing, and that it's removing terminal history. There we are. We can remove terminal history by putting on in this command. This is what I mean by taking notes. If you're using Linux, always take notes of little things, you know. So you do this. Don't have to put your password in or anything, and it will just remove all the history of what you put on in here. Okay, history -c. There we are. Fantastic. So all of that has now gone. So when I push up or down, it no longer remembers what I had put in before. Fantastic. If I just had that in there, of course it would remember. But because I've put history -c in, it actually does get rid of it. And the -c means clear. I think that's what it means. Must do. So there we are. Clear it. That's what it means. So we've gotten that now. Next, I'm going to come on down to recent, because I've got loads in here. I'm going to highlight everything here in Nemo, and we're just going to remove from recent. There we are, to remove it all. Fantastic. I've got nothing in pictures, nothing in music, nothing in downloads, only that in documents, which is brilliant. Next, I'm going to come to my whisker menu. I made up this icon myself. I just made it from the original icon from this. So that's the from the icon that comes with my icon theme, the Sardi Ghost Flexible theme, and it works. It works lovely. I love it. I made this up in GIMP. I thought, yeah, let's give it a different colour. Let's put like a border around it just to make it a bit different. And there you are. Just, I don't know, just jazzies it up a bit, doesn't it? I think so. There is one more thing I did forget to do, although I might just keep these in here instead of having them up on a separate panel. I might just have them in here. They all open. They should do. They all open, like my YouTube and all that. All I would have to do is just sign in on there. 8-Ball Billiards, which is YouTube as well. They were going to charge people to play it, but then they suddenly realised, hang on, the game's actually free. We can't charge people for playing it. And so you've got it on YouTube anyway. Yeah, I like playing it while I'm waiting for videos to render and what have you. Quite interesting to play. Oh yeah, and I want that colour picker as well. My colour picker actually works. Does yours colour picker work? Your latest version of colour picker, does it work in 24.04? Because I tell you what, it didn't for me, the latest version of colour picker. Been a bug there for a while now. Cannot pick a colour out. What's the point in having it if you can't pick a colour out? Well, you can pick a colour out if you know the number, but I'd rather have the bloody cursor to tell me what the colours are. And this is actually a Debian version of that. I've got it from Christ. I think it goes right on back to Debian Sid, this particular version. No, I think it's Debian Bullseye, actually, from about 3 years ago. 2.5 years ago, something like that. It's been upgraded since then, but it doesn't work. It doesn't give you this option with the cursor. So when you're going to pick out a colour, you need this, especially if you've got GIMP. They haven't fixed it in GIMP yet. I don't know why, but GIMP doesn't seem to work with its colour picker in there. Never has done. Ever since I've used GIMP, it's never ever used that. It may have done once or twice, but not what I can remember. So yeah, I did forget that. So let's put that inside my Doclite taskbar. Like I say, all my XFCE environments all look the same, apart from the background's different. Plus there's a different operating system as well. So you know, there you are. That'll do us. We'll put it there. Right. So now, I think I am ready for recently used. We'll get rid of all of these. Right click here and clear recently used. There we are. Oh, well, I'm not going to be able to, am I? I'm a silly fool. System back. Get that one up first. And then recently used. Back in there and just do that. We can pin this onto the dock. That would be good. We'll just have it second on in next to there. Oh, into there. No, I wanted it there. Thank you. Okay. All I do is just put my password in and it will go for us. Next thing to do, if you're ever using this, I always go into settings straight away. Don't worry about any of this, but what you do need to worry about is this. So use XZ compressor for Squash FS file systems, and also, because it'd be quicker, is to create live ISO images automatically faster than the conversion. Okay, then we can go back. That's all I do, and then we click this back arrow again, and then we live system create, and it'll be in your home folder. No, I'm not having it on there, but I might unplug that actually for now. Yeah, actually, come off of there. I'm going to unplug that one for now. Now I'll replug it back in afterwards, because I'm not sure what all that does, but hey ho, we can go back into here. There we go. System, live system create. There we are. Name of the live system, Xubuntay. Click this box because I want to include my Linux notes, so that'll be in on the ISO as well. So it saves me having to transport stuff over at a later date. And then the home directory, that's where it's going to be, /home. It is a proprietary thing. You can change this if you want, but it needs to be proprietary. So I think so. Yeah, we'll just create new here. It's all right. So you can just copy the file on over and delete at a later date. Just come back in here and delete it at a later date. So we'll go create new, and hopefully off it'll go. There we are. We'll see how big this is going to be. The final result that comes on up, depending on the file system that you're using, does depend, not the file system, the file manager that you're using, does depend on the overall size. It's a bit like gparted. You get different readings in gparted. Don't know why that is. If anyone can enlighten me, you get different readings of different file sizes than what you do in an ordinary file manager. But you do in Nemo. You get a little bit more or a little bit less. And then you look in Thunar and it's not exactly the same either. It's a little bit less. And it's like convoluting file sizes for different managers. It's strange. What's that other one? PC Man FM, which reads exactly the same as gparted. It's a strange one. So you never know which one is true or which one isn't. When we get to about 20%, it will then start to speed up. Well, hopefully it will anyway. Like I say, I haven't got the VirtualBox drivers in on here at all. I just brought my ISO on over and done it by bringing stuff over from my external hard drive. So much easier that way, better that way as well. I did make an ISO up last week of Xubuntu here in the system back, but it wasn't that good. I'm hoping that, yeah, we still got that. We are up. I have upgraded it also, because this is 22.04, which would have the 4.16.3 version of XFCE, but we are now on the 4.18.4. So just one or two behind of the latest Linux Mint, as in 24.04 version, Wilma. They're on 4.18.6, I believe. It is beginning to speed up now, which is a good thing. Well, we got to 14 anyway. Come on. Come along. 14%. Sorry, cannot read it. Sorry. Your operating system is way too big. It shouldn't be. It should be nice and light and fluffy. It should be about 2.8 gig, something like that. 2.5. Smaller than the original ISO. And this is the minimal installation. This is not that I've done of Xubuntu. This is not the full lot, even though LibreOffice still came in down with it. I got rid of that by just putting in, just removing the LibreOffice Common, and that gets rid of everything else as well. I've got Nala in on here as well. Loved Nala. Thank you so much to Jim for pointing that out. Jim Acklaw for installing that. Fantastic. Wish I'd bloody done it years ago, I tell you. I don't know how long it's been around, Nala. Has it been around long? I don't think it has it? It's only been around a couple of years. 3 years, maybe? And now we're going on up. So I'm going to stay quiet for a little while. The problem is I will be putting this on through to Auto Editor, which will cut out all the gaps. It'll only pick up my voice, and then it will let me carry on talking. Watch this. I'll go quiet. 1, 2, 3, quiet. You see? It's gone straight on into this part of my voice because that's what Auto Editor does. It cuts out all the gaps in your voice, which is absolutely fantastic. And since using it, of course, I'm beginning to talk more now. So eventually I'm hoping that I won't actually need Auto Editor anymore. There we go. We are there. It has done it. Absolutely fantastic. Now, all I've got to do then is it says 2.78. So it's actually going to be about 3 then. 2.8 something, I expect. As System Back seems to shrink it down slightly. So we shall see. Now, where it resides, you've got to click your up arrow in your file manager, and it's in here. So how big is it? 3 gig. Flipping heck. I ain't got that much on here, and I've taken a lot off. Holy hell. Maybe it's what I've added. Although I must say I've added Papyrus. I've added my own icon theme, or the icon theme that I love to use anyway. It's not my own. It's actually Eric Dubras. He's taken over development of the Sardi icon themes. Or at least I think he has. He may have passed it on over to someone else, but I think he's still in charge of it. And, oh, God, excuse me. And what we can do now is just copy that on over into our documents folder or something, and then cut it out of there and put it into my stuffed drive, which is going to be getting back in any second now once I find the end to it, and once I find the right way round of plugging it in. I've got to go underneath where my microphone is residing. There we go. Right, that's in there. That should come up in a minute. Remember, it's got to boot through my main operating system before it gets into VirtualBox. So just give it a little while and it should come back in. There we are. And we're in. Okay, excellent. So we can mount that now. We can mount that. Let's mount it, shall we? Thank you very much. There we go. This is absolutely stuffed with all sorts of stuff on here. I've got music on here. I've got all sorts on here. But the main one for Mint is all XFCE anyway. So, apart from a little bit of cinnamon in there, I guess. And of course, got my Linux notes. And that hopefully on the ISO. So we need to... Did I copy that then? I don't think I did I? So let's copy that on over into documents for now. In a virtual machine, never try to go straight on over to your external hard drive. I've known it to crash before. It's like, I can't do it. But I think that was when I was using a weaker system, I think, anyway. So we're going to full Mint. I'm going to create a folder called ISOs, like that, ISOS, and we'll just cram that on in there. I've still got 1.6 terabyte left. Shouldn't take that long to go on over from my virtual drive. And now, of course, this should be really, really good when I put it onto USB stick and later on install it onto one of my laptops. That's what I want to do, you see. And then I can, after I've got it installed onto my laptop, of course, I can then muck around with it. I'm not sure what laptop to put it on. Do I put it on my Yoga? Do I put it on my ThinkPad? Or do I put it on my very, very old Dow notebook? Hasn't got a lot of memory on it, as in hasn't got a lot of storage on that. But it's quick as anything, because it's one of the first that was using an M.2 drive. Oh, yes. An M.2 drive that had its own slot. Very, very small inside. I think it's only like 90 gig. So I doubt if this operating system will fit on there. I don't know. So I need something a little bit bigger. I could upgrade that if I wanted to. I could upgrade that to a 1 terabyte if I really wanted to. But yeah, the only problem with that notebook is that it's the screen's very small, very square. So you're looking at 1280 by 800 resolution on there, but about the same as my notepad actually. Or is that that might be HD actually, my ThinkPad rather. Yeah, so I've got to make my mind up now on what I'm going to put it on. Anyway, hopefully this will work. So next you will see this fully installed on one of my laptops. Okay, that'll be in another video though. Won't be today. Okay, thank you very much for watching. That is it from me. Bye for now.